Hi, my name is JR, and I want to share another full character design process. And when I say full, I mean I'm literally going to break down every design and thought process and the hurdles I hit along the way to creating the character Daphne. So she's a barista and a florist, so she blends her expertise in plants with her coffee making skills to craft unique, innovative drinks for her customers. Okay, so we got a few prompts that we could work with to designing her. We have her job and her interest. Now I do the hard part, which is to not procrastinate and grab my pencil and sketchbook and maybe try to... I always get excited to start drafting the first design of my character, and it's probably the most thrilling part of the process. I like to start off by browsing on Pinterest, getting inspired by the beautiful models and amazing character designs drawn by professionals, some cool anatomy, and some stylish graphic design. However, I do my best not to get distracted. I mostly focus on references that will help me get the ideas I want for the character. And so far, here is the reference board. It's a pretty decent base to start with, and it gives me a clear image in my head for any potential design ideas. With all these ideas, I start to fantasize about the final output of what I can make, and it excites me. I get really excited. So I grab my stylus or pencil and start drawing. You know, just exploring some ideas here and there, sketching. And hours later, I sit there looking at my sketches, and I start to realize, holy f***, my anatomy fucking sucks. These ideas are shit. She looks stiff. I can't draw my gesture. My style, where is it? You know. Suddenly, I feel stressed. Huh? What do you mean I'm overreacting? Fuck you! I'm not quite sure if it's just me, but starting to just sketch it out just seems so scary to me. But I know it's all just in my head, and I just gotta remind myself to just chill and let the exploration be sketchy and loose. I also think from browsing through amazing galleries of artwork, my brain expected that this would be an amazing and immediate, like, professional level godly art or whatever. Which is, by the way, chill. That type of huge expectation in the drafting phase, not ideal. So I remind myself that this shit takes time and let the inspirations digest first. And not having any expectation will just be more beneficial as I go through the process of designing. So just be loosey-goosey, and I did my freaking best. Okay, so after a few explorations and sketching, I landed on these two. I went around and started exploring this design because it had potential. I gave her like a light dress and jeans to give it a casual look while still looking like a barista. I even thought of making the apron look like a corset and adding flowers and other graphic details to communicate she's the flower lady in the cafe. The first design looked okay, and deciding the color exploration was a bit of a hurdle. I watched a few YouTube videos about color theory and philosophies, like how colors can communicate different emotions. I explored a lot of color combinations, but I landed on yellow and blues? Though I'm not happy with the idea, so I scratched that. I wasn't sure how I even landed on a very bright color palette, so I tried leaning more on greens and earthy tones kind of vibes to give off a mature aura. And I ended up picking greens, browns, and a hint of yellow. This was the first design, and I don't like it very much. Although I'll give myself a bit of credit because I explored a different type of character that leaned more on a wholesome side and a cute side of design, but it just wasn't it. The ribbon was too generic and the whole color palette wasn't clicking. One of my friends even said she looked too performative, and you know what? I quite agree. So I was just not feeling it and I got tilted, and I actually almost dropped the entire project just because it just didn't work out for me. Just kidding, I didn't give up. It was just getting harder to continue the project because of the dissatisfaction and whatever, and the frustration. And I didn't want to add another file on my folder full of whips project. And I'm gonna be real, I have no intention of finishing any of those. And I'm sure you guys can relate. But before considering all that, I came across a video that I really liked from Proco. And it was featuring Nightzang, a professional artist in the gaming industry who's working at Riot right now on 2XKO. I love the game, by the way. Please release Riven, please release Riven, please release Riven. I recommend you guys watch the video because it's definitely more educational than this. But my overall takeaway is that no character design is bad. It just falls to the artist on what creative solution he has to bring out the story behind the design. So meaning it depends on me? I guess? Does that make sense? Okay, the point is, the feeling of dissatisfaction for the first design is normal, and we are on the correct path to bringing out the full potential of the character. So let's do it one more time. And this time, I almost kept everything but made it more simple. I leaned more on the barista side to make her costume design much more simpler. She's a barista who deals with mutated flowers. I don't want to make it more deeper than that. And honestly, right now, this felt way better than the first design I came up with. The color palette gave her this sense of maturity, like someone you can rely on. And the glasses and the headband gave off an approachable appearance. I like the silhouette better because of the hair tied up. I think that's really cute too. The clothes are much more grounded in reality. Well, based on my experience, my uniform was just a presentable top and jeans with an apron. It doesn't get more complex than that. So we added some patterns of flowers on her clothing, which definitely helped sell the look too, in my opinion. And I'm glad I ended up polishing this character design, and I definitely learned a lot from the resources that I reviewed and absorbed through making this project. In conclusion, guys, finish your whips. You might be surprised by yourself and what you are capable of. Failure, rest, and persistence are another part of improving in art, but also don't forget to work out and take care of your mental health. So let me know what you think of Daphne, and some critiques will be also very much appreciated. And with all that, thank you. Thank you for your time in watching this video and watching me yap about my process. If you enjoyed, try subscribing. I'd appreciate it, and it will make me very happy. Again, thank you and have a nice day. Look forward for the next video.